All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We're going to do an EV sector review looking at four stocks: MULN, Lucid, Polestar, and Tesla. Honestly, Lucid is probably the chart that has me the most excited over the four. For MULN and Polestar, I really just want to stress the all-time lows. I talk about it all the time, and then just kind of start resetting expectations. I'm probably going to redo all these lines as well. It's been a minute since we've done that. But before we get into the technicals, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. Again, I'll probably delete them and make new ones, but these are some horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll look at the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. But just being here, man, thank you so much for your time, okay? There's way better things you can be doing, and I appreciate you being here, okay? And then look, I am not perfect. I definitely get things wrong. I have no crystal ball telling me what Monday's going to do. So yeah, if your opinions are better than mine, throw them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. You might either sway my opinion and help me make money or save me money, right? And again, nothing is financial advice. We're simply educated people giving each other opinions, right? So yeah, all that said, look, let's get into it, right? And I'm going to delete all these lines, but before I do, look, I often say it. I'm just zooming out to show you, okay? This 20-cent line at the time was the last point we had green candles. So that becomes our all-time low support. And once we lose it, there is absolutely no surprise to my head that we actually lost 50% of the money since losing that line. I often say 20 cents is 20% is kind of the minimum once you lose all-time lows. But yeah, once we lose that first 20, I'm ready to lose the next 20. After that 20, I'm ready to lose that next 20. I'm telling you, all-time lows is a black hole vortex that just steals your hard-earned money. And it sounded like a good deal at 50 cents because this thing was all the way at like 2 whatever. It sounded like a real good deal at 30 cents. It sounded like a good deal, and I'm telling you, like, there's still a lot down that this thing. One of the things I don't like is that this 8 is still going down, right? This is an interesting kind of not going down as sharp, but end of the day, it's not going up, right? It's still kind of making its way down, and we're looking at the weekly, right? So you really, really need these two lines, the 8 and the 20, going up. Otherwise, I mean, they can go down for months. Like, it's actually only been going down for about a month and a half, right? Basically middle of February. Actually, only a month, middle of February till middle of March. We've literally seen these lines go down together for months only to have a half month pop, right? So just I'm not a fanboy. I'm not an ape. I don't care about short interest or manipulation or any of that. Manipulation, I actually kind of mentioned around this 40-cent noise, and I'm not going to go back to it, but yeah, end of the day, the 8 and the 20 means so much to me. I'm not here to tell you that my stack is the best technical stack or anything, but yeah, as long as we're struggling with the 8, there's zero surprise in my head. And then we still haven't even like touched the 20. We're not going to break the 20 on the first go. Look, we might, but end of the day, it's hard. All right, you touch it and you fail. You wick it and fail. You open up here and fail for a long time until this next one, right? Like, we haven't even touched it here. So just be careful with MULN. We're still at all-time lows. Look, there's an argument that you can draw a line right here. I actually would probably draw it at the bottom. Truth be told, I think if it was a bigger candle, I probably would use it. Honestly, it's definitely not a doji, but it's kind of an insignificant candle. You'll hear me go red, 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 red with a couple green ones in them. Like, this is nothing. This is just a give me a second, and you know what I mean? So again, I'm not here to hate. I'm not, more than anything, use this as an all-time lows learning experience. You quickly lose 50% of your money in less than a month, right? From basically the 8th, from the 8th till the 24th, where it actually hits. You can see it right there. The low is 10 cents and 50% of your money has now gone down the toilet, right? Like, you could have literally not bought anything here and gotten twice as much with the same money down here, right? Again, that's part of the problem with averaging down too. I hate averaging down. I made a video on that, right? So not too much more to say, honestly, on MULN, but let's get into Lucid, all right? LUCD. Yeah, no, LCID. Nice, sorry about that. Lucid, okay. So where are we here? A little bit different than MULN. Honestly, a lot different than MULN. First and foremost, we see a support line doing its job, right? With MULN, there's nowhere for me to draw support lines. But here, even though we've been well under the 8 for a while, a good support line. I'm not exactly sure which one made it. Oh, shit, whatever. Either way, we drew it back in the day. It's been a while since I've covered this. And this line, definitely, if you go back to the last video, this one was there. I didn't cheat. I promise you that. But yeah, when you have past history, again, I'm just kind of zooming out. When you have past history, I wonder if it was just a 50% candle of that big one. Maybe. I don't know. Nonetheless, yeah, it held, and you know, it is what it is, regardless, right? Let's talk about the lines. I like that we're at least trying to take the 20. And it goes back to what I said on MULN. It's not going to break on the first one. So you're going to need a couple attempts on the 20. And I love the fact that the 8 is curving up as we're trying to break it, right? So, hey, even though we fail, at least the fall is a little lower than it would have been if it stayed here or kept going down. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we're trying to break it. Hopefully we do. But end of the day, nothing matters till we do, right? Look at what Friday did. We landed on it. You can see the green number on top is where we close at 819, and then the orange number right there, average 20, is at 819. Landing on the line is not breaking the line. Landing on it is as good as not breaking it in my book, okay? Definitely needed to get over it and just couldn't do it. But I'm liking this. I am. And hey, if we can get over this, there's a lot of reason to believe we actually might come to at least this. Do I think we're going to break the 2 lines? I don't necessarily know. But look, the Saudi Arab candle is right here, right? And yeah, if we can get close to this, if we can actually break it, yeah, there's reason to believe we'll come back to the top of the Saudi candle, right? And why am I calling it the Saudi candle? This was the rumor where they were going to put some money. And again, look, I'm not here to talk about politics. I'm not here to talk about religion. All I know is they got way, way too much money to not put any notice into how they spend it. All right. And this is just what a rumor does. Got it all the way up here, actually. Someone hopefully banked up here, not bought and watched it come down to 8, I hope. But you know what I mean? Like, the fact that they might write a check brings silly, silly numbers, brings silly, silly attention. Imagine what happens if they do it. On the flip side, if the rumor isn't true, we're quickly going to drop down to the MULN and Polestar all-time lows. But yeah, for sure, this is why this guy is staying up and not falling. You cannot underestimate how people with a lot of money spend it. You know what I mean? So, and look, I don't give any noise to like insider buying, all right? Yeah, an insider is going to have more money than me for sure. Yeah, whatever. They're not going to have Saudi level money that's going to move a stock from like nothing to literally, for lack of words, an infinite amount of money, right? I know it's a hard exaggeration, but is it really? I don't know, right? So I think a lot of it is the Saudi maybe, this beautiful support line, but end of the day, get over the 20 and don't expect to break those 2. I think that end of the day, that's a beautiful flip. It's a little more than 10%, right? But shit, it actually might be a little closer to 15%, actually, just kind of doing some rough math, right? 80 cents would take us to 9, add another 40. Yeah, that's about 15% right there. That could be a nice trade. From there, again, if this breaks, that could be a nice trade too, right? But don't think about 13 until we get over these 2. But yeah, for sure, a lot more to like here than MULN and then Polestar, which we're about to get to in a second, all right? And again, if the Saudi news fails, if they end up saying, nah, it was just a rumor, nah, it was fake, nah, we're actually looking somewhere else, we're going to join MULN and Polestar here, okay? So just keep that in mind. Where are we on the weekly? All right, look, it's still not a good weekly. I'm actually still seeing the 8 want to go down. I'm still seeing the 20 want to go down. This is an important week. And look, it came after a doji, which is nice, right? I generally say after a doji, you should get a better understanding of what it's going to look like. And hey, maybe we come up to here, which brings us a little closer to these two lines, right? But I think it's going to be really hard to break 916. And I think that's actually going to line up to right here, 950, a little higher. But yeah, just you get the point. All right. PSNY. All right, Polestar. It is PSNY, unfortunately, right? Like, you lose, I'm pretty sure that was the all-time low number, right? It was. You lose 418, you're already down to 330, right? It's not a 50% loss like we see with MULN, but it's actually been just a week after we actually lost it, right? So MULN, just kind of going back to MULN, has seen a couple weeks under this line, right? And in that couple weeks, we lost 50. PSNY, Polestar, it's only been 1 week. If next week goes even lower, right, like you'll be there, okay? And end of the day, what am I seeing? I'm seeing us actually go a little bit lower from the 8 instead of kind of going closer, right? So still seeing the 8 go down, still seeing the 20 go down. There's a little bit of a curve, I would say, right? Like it looks like instead of going steeper down, it's kind of making that little meh. That said, it's not really going up or flat just yet. It's kind of leveling, right? So end of the day, I'm still seeing these two lines go down. And really, these two lines have been going down for a good while. I'm now seeing the 50 go down as well. And I'm kind of seeing the 100 go down a little bit as well, right? Because that's where it would have stayed at. It's definitely moving its way. So I am not liking Polestar. I'm worried that we keep going down the all-time lows black hole vortex, right? That was a mouthful, but I'm glad I got it out. And yeah, there's not too much more to say that I didn't already say on MULN, in all honesty, all right? So I'm telling you, I know it sounded like a good deal at $5 because this thing was at 10. I know it sounded like a good deal at $4 because this thing was at 10. It's now in the 3s. We might be talking about the 2s. It's not that far from 1. Just be careful. Let the lines give you a reason, right? That's really why I love them, okay? Excuse me. So coming into Tesla. So Tesla is starting to horizontal cluster is what I'm seeing, right? It's not all 5 lines, the 5th line's up there, but yeah, these 4 are definitely moving a little tighter than I'd like to. And it kind of looks like this 8 and 20 are about to give, right? We made a very, very nice move. We're kind of starting to stall. The 50's actually given us a couple bounces, which has been cool, but it hasn't really been enough to get us back near this 200. So I'm starting to get a little worried here. And really, I think Monday will let us know if, hey, are we going to bounce on these and go up? Or do we have to start worrying about coming back to the 50 and looking for a third bounce, actually, right? Because end of the day, these lines are only so strong, right? You get one bounce, all right. You get a second bounce, all right. You can ask for a third bounce. You're kind of asking for a lot. Do we really need to talk about a fourth one after that? I hope not, right? Because again, they're only so strong and they will eventually break, right? But anything can happen in a horizontal cluster. It kind of looks like the 100 itself is still going down, right? So we might be doing an oscillation as the 100 goes down. There's a couple things here that don't make it look like it's great. I don't think we need to worry about losing the 172 line, but yeah, you for sure don't want to lose this because I always say it, right? Break the top one and fly, lose the bottom one and die, right? And that green can make it a hard fall down to like maybe 145, if not this 123 line, right? So yeah, I think that's a pretty good review of this guy. Hey, look, okay, the weekly's interesting, right? We got over the 200. We bounced on the 200. Couldn't get over the 8, though. I really wish we did, right? So I think next week, again, we have to close by Friday a little closer to like 200. Otherwise, I think the fear might be, again, that same 173 number, right? I don't think we're going to lose 173, 170, especially now that I see we have the 2 here and it's the 1 right here. But yeah, losing that number is going to be horrible here, okay? So look, a quick stack of EV stocks in one. I used to break these out and put a lot of focus, but you know, if you watch my videos, I have more focus on AI right now. So Hey, let me know if you disagree with anything. Otherwise, thank you for your time. Thank you, thank you, thank you.